I love the correlation between surfing and MMA. You can't tame the ocean. The ocean is always changing. The wind's different. The bottom of the ocean is different. You need to surf the wave a little bit different. So when I fight, I try to do the same thing. You find an opponent that's got good striking, and you find someone else who has really good takedowns. You try to go around what my opponent's doing and use what he's doing to my advantage. That's the Jiu-Jitsu approach to fighting. I started surfing as soon as I could walk. The moment I could stand, my father put me on a board. I grew up just in the water, sailing, scuba diving, spearfishing, water skiing. I met Master Renzo Gracie when I first walked onto Gracie Barra. I was 15 years old. To all of us that started Jiu-Jitsu at that time, like he was our hero. There was no Iron Man, no Superman, it was Renzo Gracie. I moved here to help Master Renzo at a school he was opening. I wanted to dedicate my whole life to Jiu-Jitsu, and I realized that the only way I was going to be able to do that is if I was a teacher. Here? Perfect, right there, you got your hat.
3 years later, at the urging of his students, the teacher became a fighter.
Fought in front of 20,000 people my very first professional fight, and it was definitely a rush. I did win, you know, it was an awesome performance.
After a disqualification in his UFC debut, Ricardo scored an impressive submission of Eugene Jackson and lost a war with Andrei Semenov. In late 2002, he decided to fight exclusively in Japan.
I was just having a tough time dealing with the outside of the ring part, doing interviews, and people, oh, they want tickets, and they want this, and they want that. Like, I really had a tough time dealing with that. So I decided to move to fight in Japan, where, like, you just get on a plane and you go out there yourself in a couple cornermen, and no one really bothers you. And ever since that loss in UFC, I never lost again.
There was a period of time when the best talent in the world was in Japan, and Ricardo was over there dominating.
A 2003 victory over Nathan Marquardt gave Ricardo the Pancrase Middleweight Championship.
Threw him up on my shoulders, we ran around the ring, and it was just a really, really fantastic experience.
Ricardo earned one more victory in 2004, and then abruptly retired.
I was undefeated in Japan, I beat some of the top middleweights, but that's not what life is about. I wanted to get other aspects of my life together. I had to take a step back from fighting, focus on my family, focus on my Jiu-Jitsu school, and just focus on the things that are going to be here after fighting is done. We were able to grow the school onto one of the biggest Jiu-Jitsu schools in the world. 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's not just that he's teaching technique, he's teaching life skills to these guys.
He has a lot of passion in what he does, and it shines through in every class, every lesson.
The first 2 guard passes that we always learn. Slight step back, slight step forward. So that we're pinning that one leg just between our knees. It's just great to be able to share with other people what I have gotten from Jiu-Jitsu. You know, like without Jiu-Jitsu in my life, I would be nothing. Thank you guys. Great class. Do you like Jiu-Jitsu? Yeah? Are you gonna be a black belt one day? Yeah? To have a family has given a meaning to my life that I never thought I could have. You know, like it's given me a sense of responsibility. My children depend on me for instruction so they could better deal with the world out there.
For 4 years, Ricardo built his schools and his family. 2 daughters and a son, Renzo, named after his mentor.
Hey, Renzo, do you want to go surfing with me? Yeah. All right.
Then, one day, the itch returned.
I was with my younger brother, Andre, and I was telling him that I was thinking about coming back and fighting, or maybe not, and he's like, you know, Ricardo, you're 30 years old. This is the time for you to work. It really made me think about getting back to training and getting back to competing full-time. There's this new generation of guys coming up. They're gonna take the sport to a whole new level. Like, I cannot not be a part of it.
The UFC, excited for his return, put him on the undercard of UFC 81. Ricardo began training for a return to the octagon. Then he and his wife received troubling news.
A couple weeks before my fight in February, my son Renzo was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. It's definitely something that's tough to deal with. I thought about just calling Dana and Joe Silva and being like, you know, I can't fight. I shouldn't be here. I spoke to my father, and he was like, you know, Ricardo, I think it's important for your son to see you working hard, to see you out there fighting. And it spoke to me, and I decided that I was going to fight. I want him to see me sweating and bleeding a little bit so that he understands that he needs to go through his therapy, he needs to go through his tough times, and everything's going to be okay at the end.
In February, in his first fight in nearly 4 years, Ricardo submitted the previously undefeated Rob Yund 1 minute into the first round.
He's got a guillotine right there. Can he finish it here? But he's got one arm in. Will this fight end quickly? Oh, that's it. It is all over. That is some top-shelf Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu right there.
People always ask, you know, Ricardo, do you think you still have what it takes to compete with the young guys coming up? I'm here to find out. That's what I'm here for.